Insane battery, crazy performance. This is the OnePlus 15. Now, all those are markings of a win when it comes to a flagship phone. But after using this phone for a few weeks, we have some strong opinions and one potential deal breaker. Let's break down this new OnePlus flagship, the OnePlus 15. When it comes to the design element, the OnePlus 15 has adopted the style and look, especially on the rear, of the 13T/13S. So it moves away from last year's cylindrical rear design when it comes to cameras of the OnePlus 13. There's other things to note as well. On the side here, you actually get a rocker key, well, a customizable key. On here, the alert slider, those have now switched over, and now it's a permanent move to what is now called the Plus key. And overall, the aesthetics of the phone are flat all over, and you get some really, it feels really, really good in the hand as well. Other things to note here as well is this button, this particular function button, when you click it, it's set by default to something called Mind Space. Now this essentially is a space where you can quick record, a quick capture certain things that you want to get to during your day. For example, if you wanted to send a voice reminder about a certain shoes you want to buy, or a holiday, or a recipe, you can do that. Then the display. One departure of this 15 compared to the 13 is in its resolution in its display, because this 15 has a 1.5K resolution. The 13 actually gets you a 2K resolution, so that on paper is a downgrade. The upside of that is though the 15 actually gives you 165 Hz as a refresh rate. If you put both side by side, you can't really tell the difference. If you're watching back content on both, you're gonna get super rich, deep colors, really good dynamic range, really good contrasts, blacks look super black, and the experience on both is really, really good. The notice you'll see in those extra lost pixels and resolution only comes when you zoom into text really, really close. Then you see some blurring, but to the naked eye, on the normal way you're looking at your phone, there is no difference. The real evolution of the 15 and the next gen step that is taken comes in the form of some insane spec. Let's give you those. 7300 milliamp hour battery, of course, silicon carbon, 120 watts of wired charging, 50 watts of wireless charging. If you get this top spec, you actually get 16 gigabytes of the fastest RAM you can actually get, alongside 512 gigabytes of storage. And on top of that, you get the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 that lives under the hood. Now that battery, it's actually a legit multi-day battery when it's adapted to your style and understands how you work and use and operate your phone. It's legitimately 2 days. So watching content on here, you could do that all day long, be it TV shows, YouTube, doom scrolling, all day long, not an issue at all. And then you obviously can do a ton of browsing, checking your internet speeds, pretty much use this phone day and night, and it will comfortably last you a day. Now that CPU has some interesting takes, allow us to get a little bit techie here for the next few minutes. Firstly, when you run this through Geekbench, you get chart-topping level experience on that Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and it's the exact same story when you run it through Antutu's benchmarks as well. However, if you then put this through 3D Mark's Lifestyle Extreme tests, 20 cycles, 20 minutes, you get some really, really interesting results. And there's been a lot of talk about crashes during this test because the phone overheats. Didn't experience that, but we're going to hit you with some key figures. If you're looking at stability, that sits at 68.7%. Now, what that means is this will throttle under heavy load quite a bit. You're looking in the 90s to get really good levels of no throttling. And then other key figures, heat goes up from 28 when the test started to 49 degrees, and then battery consumption is at 50%. So all of those highlight a processor, unfortunately, that isn't the most efficient and is super power hungry. But the impact on this, you're never gonna feel. So if you do push this performance on this chipset, on this phone, when you're gaming, you're gonna get a really, really good experience. So we played a lot of Destiny Rising and Call of Duty Mobile online, and you get super great console level experience graphics. No issue with crashes, no issues with anything at all. You get really good graphics, really good high fidelity, no drop frames, and FPS you can max out on both. It looks really, really good. Now, the sound output comes via the way of two speakers, one at the bottom, one through the top, and the sound output actually is really good. OxygenOS has copied a lot of the elements of, unfortunately, liquid glass and iOS 26, like the whole BBK company as a whole has, including the Oppo Find X9 Pro, which you reviewed recently. And it works really, really well. Really fast transitions, opening, closing, fully customizable. You can make this entirely your own. It's not at all any way different from ColorOS. If you want to see a bit more of a deep dive, check out that video. But we do low-key miss old school OxygenOS, but the performance of the OS as a whole on this phone is incredible. Every year, the cameras on the back of the OnePlus phone are always the most contentious. This year, you get 3 50-megapixel cameras. Last year, you got 3 50-megapixel cameras. But there is differences because this 13 was actually powered by a Hasselblad color science and backed by it. That is now gone on the OnePlus 15. And some may argue that drop-off has an impact on how good the color profile and video looks on the OnePlus 15, actually using their own DetailMax Engine to power the color science on the OnePlus 15. But let's talk about some quick rundown of those 3 lenses on the back of the 15, starting off with that 50-megapixel wide at 24mm. So all the images here are high resolution. They do look good with good dynamic range and colors. Unfortunately, do look flatter. Now, I think that could be fixed in post through a software update, and I guess that's primarily because of this new DetailMax Engine being not fully optimized to understand how they'd like it to look, but it lacks that punch. And you see this more and more, especially the Hasselblad color science bit, when you compare side-by-side photos with the OnePlus 13. The 13's images feel warmer, more natural, more real to life, and they pop just that little bit more. So in that respect, it's definitely a downgrade on that main 50-megapixel sensor, which is a bit of a shame. In fact, that 50-megapixel main sensor on the 15 is not all that different, essentially, as the one found on the Nord 5. And the Nord 5 is an excellent mid-range phone, but a flagship, it is not. That's one thing for sure. Now that telephoto is a secondary lens, 50-megapixel, 3.5x telephoto periscope, 50mm. Now this is among the 3 possibly the best in a weird way. Sharper, more detailed, much better colors, balanced, images pop a lot more in this as well, and gives you a lot more punch. The image processing as you go further up the zoom length does a good overall job and does a good job of retaining a lot of detail as well. The ultra wide 16mm, 50 megapixels, 116-degree field of view. Again, with a lot of 50 megapixels, this is okay, decent results, and similar to the main lens, lacks the pop in color, and then doesn't have the same amount of sharpness and detail as the telephoto lens does, sorry. But I guess those 2 lenses, the main and ultra wide, can be fixed to be a bit more pop in color and have more balance, looking less flat in a software update. Video output here can be as high as 8K 30, and colors and details here are really nice with good dynamic range, and they look really, really good too. You can also use this in 4K 120 FPS on the telephoto too, and again, you get really, really good balance and color. So either of those are really, really good. Overall, the camera system on the OnePlus 15, I would say, is a bit of a mixed bag. I think the DetailMax Engine needs a bit more refinement, but over time, this will get better. And I always find that the case, even when we use OnePlus 13, over time, the cameras got better. And I think that's gonna be exactly the case with the OnePlus 15. So our final thoughts on the OnePlus 15. If you are looking for a phone that offers you incredible battery life, really nice display, well built with really good performance, and you don't care about cameras, then the 15 is a really, really good buy. If you want all that plus a really good camera experience, then it's probably worth looking elsewhere. Something like the Oppo Find X9 Pro, Vivo X300 Pro, Samsung's, Google's, iPhones, all of those will give you a better overall flagship camera performance. But what I would say, if you did go ahead and buy this, chances are in 3 months' time, we will look back on this review and think those cameras have gotten considerably better. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you buy the OnePlus 15 even those cameras are, I guess, compromised would probably be the nicest way to put it? Let us know below, and be sure to like and comment and subscribe. Until next one, we out.